At the end of the topic, you will be able to understand that natural resources are depleted at a faster rate as it is overutilized by humans. Identify classification of renewable and non-renewable resources. Resources are the most important requirement of any developing and developed country. A country's development and its economic status depend upon the availability of resources. But these resources must be used wisely for the sustainable development of the country and to have a sustainable environment. Overutilization of these resources will lead to an imbalance in the ecosystem and create environment issues like pollution and degradation of land. Natural resources. The materials that exist in nature and used by man to satisfy his demand is termed as natural resources. Land, air, sunlight, water, soil, minerals, plants and animals are the natural resources used by man in his daily life. They are either used directly or indirectly by human resource. Natural resources are classified into two types: renewable resources, non-renewable resources. Renewable resources. The sources which can be obtained again and again from nature are known as renewable resources. For example, sun, light, land, air, water are energy that are continuously available to man. But even these resources are overused by human, where recovery of these resources also takes a lot more time. The restoration of these renewable resources differs from one resource to another. For example, animal resource takes little time to recover. Water takes some more time to reach the water table level again. Forest takes much longer time to get repaired from the damage caused by overutilization. Non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources could not be obtained again and again once they are used. These resources need a long geological period of time to reoccur in the nature, as the time taken for the formation of these resources is very long. For example, minerals and fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum and natural gas are non-renewable resources. These resources should be used wisely so that our future generation also be able to get the benefit of these resources. In this topic, you have learnt the materials that we get from nature are referred to as resources. Resources are broadly classified into two types, namely renewable and non-renewable resources. The resources which can be obtained again and again from nature are known as renewable resources. The restoration of the renewable resources differs from one source to another. Non-renewable resources could not be obtained again and again once they are used. Non-renewable resources need a long geological period of time to reoccur in the nature. To sustain the availability of resources, we must use them wisely. At the end of the topic, you will be able to understand soil as one of the most important renewable resources, analyze the fact that soil differs in its fertility, identify the different types of soils, describe the need for soil conservation. The most important renewable resource on the earth is soil. It is a thin layer of the earth's surface in which plants grow and living organisms survive. Soil is the end product of weathering. Formation of soil takes a very long time. It is made up of weathered rock, decayed plants and animal matter. Based on climate and landform, the soil differs in its fertility and in its type. Soil fertility. The nutrient value of the soil determines the fertility of the soil. Higher the nutrients, greater the fertility. The fertility of the soil helps the plants and crops to grow in a healthy manner. The factors which determine the fertility of the soil are oil organic matter, soil texture, soil depth, nutrient content, absorption capacity, soil reaction, and absence of toxic substance. The fertility of soil increases with the increase of humus content. Major types of soil. Based on the area of formation, the landforms and its agricultural importance, soils of India are classified into 5 major types. They are as follows: alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, and desert soil. Alluvial soil. Alluvial soil constitutes the largest soil type of India. It is formed due to the deposition of sediments along the river side and in the river delta. These soils are found in the floodplain, coastal region and in the deltaic regions of India. Alluvial soil is divided into 2 types. They are Kadar and Bangar. Kadar. These are low-lying plains next to the river, often prone to flood. The soil consists of new alluvial layer highly suitable for cultivation. Bangar. These are found comparatively in higher land and not prone to floods. The soil here is old, clayey alluvial soil. The alluvial soil is highly suitable for cultivation. Crops like wheat, rice, sugarcane, and cotton can grow well in this type of soil. The parts of Punjab, Haryana, UP, Bihar, and West Bengal are covered with the Great Indo-Gangetic Plain, which has a large cover of alluvial soil in it. The lower course of Ganga River forms a huge delta along with the river Brahmaputra. These areas are used for jute cultivation. In South India, the eastern coastal region of Indian Peninsula has many deltas formed by the river Godavari, river Krishna, and river Kaveri. Black soil. As the name says, this is a soil which is black in color. It is formed due to the weathering of igneous rocks. They are black due to the presence of iron and aluminium. Black soil is found mostly in the Deccan Plateau regions and peninsular river valleys of India. Maharashtra, Gujarat, MP, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and few places of Tamil Nadu. Black soil is called as Regger soil. They have high moisture retention level but lack phosphorus and organic matter. They are most suitable soil for cotton cultivation other than cotton, cereals, oilseeds, citrus fruits and vegetables, tobacco and sugarcane grows well in this type of soil. Red soil. The weathering of crystalline and metamorphic rocks leads to the formation of red soil. The presence of high iron oxide gives its red to yellowish color. This soil is generally very poor in nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, humus and lime. It cannot retain moisture. It is not considered as a fertile soil, but if added with the proper manure, it becomes productive. Crops grown in this soil are rice, wheat, millets, ragi, pulses and sugarcane. Most part of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, northeastern Andhra Pradesh, parts of Madhya Pradesh and Orissa are covered with soil. Laterite soil. Laterite soil is formed in hot and wet tropical region, mostly rich in iron and aluminium. Laterite soils are rusty red in color because of the presence of iron oxide as red soil. This soil undergoes a long chemical weathering process which makes it thick in texture. Thick soil layers are porous and permeable, so it acts as aquifers in villages. It is mostly found in the slopes of the mountains. The crops like coffee, rubber, cashew, bajra and tapioca grows in this soil. These soils were cut into bricks and used to build monuments during the historic period. Mountain soil. Mountain soil is mostly found in mountainous regions like the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats of Peninsular India. It is also found in the Himalaya regions and the parts of the Sivalik range. This soil is best suited for plantation crops such as tea, coffee and rubber. This soil is rich in organic matter and humus content. Tea grows in areas of Assam and West Bengal in the eastern Himalayan regions. Coffee and rubber grows well in the Ghats of Karnataka and Kerala. Desert soil. The soil that is formed and found in the desert and arid regions is known as desert soil. The soil is generally sandy and porous in nature. This soil cannot retain the water. Desert soil is highly infertile, but still with latest development in irrigation and by adding manure and fertilizers, the soil is made productive. It is used to grow crops like wheat, barley, bajra, grapes and melons. Desert soil is found in Rajasthan, Gujarat and South Punjab. Soil erosion. Soil erosion refers to the washing away of the field's topsoil by natural processes like rain, flood, river water, wind, and some by human factors like deforestation, overgrazing by animals. The proper use of soil has become very important now. As the production of food directly depends on the quality of soil, in many parts of our country, the soil has lost its fertility mainly because of human influence. Soil must be used in such a way that it must sustain the quality for generations to come. Awareness usually occurs only when the property is damaged and the productive areas of the soil are lost. We must conserve the soil before it's too late. Soil conservation. Soil conservation is a method to conserve the soil from getting depleted. It must be practiced by all the farmers in such a way that the soil doesn't lose its fertility. It's not possible to stop soil erosion, but it can be mitigated. There are various ways to conserve soil. Several methods are adopted by Indians to conserve soil. More than 40 million hectares of land have been reclaimed from water erosion. Afforestation is one way of conservation of soil as the roots hold the soil tight. Cutting of trees must be checked. Excessive grazing must be reduced. Shifting cultivation by tribal groups must be checked. Construction of check dams across the river will reduce the force of the river water. To check wind erosion, trees should be planted in the opposite direction of the wind. Contour farming must be practiced to avoid soil erosion on the slopes of the mountains. Using chemical fertilizers must be replaced with organic manure. Strip cultivation should be encouraged. Plants, grass and shrubs should be grown more to check the erosion by running water. In this topic, you have learnt soil is one of the most important renewable resources. Soil differs from place to place depending upon the topography and climate. The nutrient value of the soil determines the fertility of the soil. Alluvial soil is divided into two types. They are Khadar, Bangar. Black soil is formed due to the weathering of igneous rocks. They are black due to the presence of iron and aluminium. Red soil is generally very poor in nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, humus and lime. Laterite soil is formed in hot and wet tropical regions, mostly rich in iron and aluminium. Desert soil is generally sandy and porous in nature. In many parts of our country, the soil has lost its fertility mainly because of human influence. It's not possible to stop soil erosion, but it can be mitigated. Alluvial soil is the most fertile soil of the world, found at the banks of the river and coastal regions. Soil erosion is one of the major problems in today's scenario. Government has taken many steps to conserve soil. At the end of the topic, you will be able to identify the different types of forests in India, understand the importance of forest cover for a nation, know the reasons for declaring forest area as reserve and protected forests, list the measures taken by government to protect forests. Natural vegetation is the green cover of the earth's surface which grows naturally without man's interference. The climate of a place has great influence of the natural vegetation. Natural vegetation and climate go hand in hand. Natural vegetation is one of the most important renewable resources which can be renewed easily if utilized in a proper manner. The vast areas of forest are being cleared for cultivation in most parts of the country. This process of deforestation has to be brought under control to have sustainable development of forest resource. India's forest resources. India has 17% of forest cover land, 64 million hectares, which comparatively very less than what India had in the 1970s. India has a wide variety of forests starting from evergreen trees to thorny shrubs. But these forests are unevenly distributed because of the climate and topography. Forest areas are cleared at a faster rate due to the high population growth, high demand of land for industrial purposes and increase in urbanization. Types of natural vegetation. The factors which influence the natural vegetation are temperature, rainfall, topography and soil type. Based on the above factors, natural vegetation is divided into 6 types. They are tropical evergreen forest, tropical monsoon forest, shrub and thorn forest, desert vegetation, mangrove forest, mountain forests. Tropical evergreen forests. Tropical evergreen forests, otherwise known as tropical rainforests, are mostly found in areas which receive more than 200 cm of rainfall. These forests are very dense and have trees which grow up to 60 meters tall. The trees of this forest remain green throughout the year as they don't have any shedding period. As these trees are dense and evergreen, the sunlight does not reach the ground, but the rainwater reaches, which makes the region marshy. The important trees found here are lianas, rosewood, cinchona, bamboo, ebony, mahogany and rubber. Evergreen forest in India is found in the Western Ghats, Assam, Lower Himalayas, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and some parts of Orissa. Tropical monsoon forests. These types of forests are found in areas which receive 100 to 200 cm of rainfall. They are also known as deciduous forests. The trees in this forest shed their leaves during spring season. These forests have hardwood trees which are used to make furniture and other household appliances. So the trees here are mostly exploited for commercial purposes. The trees found here are teak, sandalwood, shisham, sal, wattle and neem. In India, they are mostly found in northeastern states, parts of Orissa, Jharkhand, leeward side of Western Ghats, western slope of Eastern Ghats, parts of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Shrub and thorn forests. These types of forests are mainly found in semi-arid regions and dry areas where the average rainfall is 75 cm. The trees have thick and small thorny leaves to reduce the evaporation and long roots to penetrate into the soil in search of water. The major variety of trees found here are babel, palms, cacti and acacia. They are mainly found in the northwestern part of India like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Desert forest. Desert forest is found in regions which receive less than 25 centimeters of rainfall, and the trees here grow only up to 7 to 11 meters high, but roots are long as those trees of semi-arid regions. The trees found here are babels, acacias, wild berries. The babel trees are famous for gum production. These types of forests mostly found in Gujarat, southwestern parts of Punjab, and interior region of the Deccan. Mangrove forests. Mangrove forests are found in the coastal regions of tropical and subtropical areas. These forests have aerial roots because the soil available at this area has low oxygen. They are found in places where the fine sediments are deposited by the river at the mouth of the river. They are found in abundance in the deltas of the Ganga, Brahmaputra, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. In West Bengal, at the delta of Ganga Brahmaputra has a huge cover of mangrove forests called Sundarbans. They are named so due to the Sundari trees found there. The woods of these trees are used for boat making. These types of forests at coastal region can mitigate the effects of disasters like tsunami. Mountain forests. In the mountainous regions, the temperature decreases as the altitude increases, and the natural vegetation differs according to the altitude. In India, variation in the mountain vegetation found in the Himalayan region and in the Peninsula region. Vegetation in the Himalayan region. The forest found at the height of 1000 meters to 2000 meters is evergreen forest, which has trees like oak and chestnut. At the height of 1500 meters to 3000 meters, as the temperature decreases, the trees found here are coniferous trees like pine, deodar, spruce and cedar. At an altitude of 3500 and above, alpine vegetation is found, such as silver fir, junipers, pines and birches. Only mosses and lichens are found at a higher altitude. The southern slopes of the Himalayan are covered with these types of forests, and parts eastern states of India have coniferous forests. Vegetation in the Peninsula India. In Peninsula India, mountain forests are found in Western Ghats, Vindhyas and the Nilgiris. The tropical forests are called sholas, are found in the Nilgiris, the Satpura and Maikala ranges. The important varieties of trees found here are magnolia, laurel, cinchona and wattle. Grasslands. Grasslands are vegetations mostly covered with grasses. Grasslands occur in areas which receives rainfall of 60 to 70 centimeters. Indian grasslands are not as the grasslands of Europe and Africa, like steppes and savanna. The Indian grassland is being divided into two types, lowland grasses and upland grasses. Lowland grasses. The grasslands found in Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and parts of northwestern Assam are lowland grasses. They are the plain regions covered with grasses. They grow in areas which receive 60 to 150 centimeters of rainfall, and it can withstand high temperature and grows in all types of soil. Upland grasses. As the name suggests, they grow in higher altitudes over 1000 meters. They are mostly found in the Himalayas and in the slopes of the Western Ghats in Karnataka. They are also found in some parts of the southern regions of India. Importance of forests. Forests are considered as one of the top 5 natural resources on earth. Forests are of immense economic importance to us. Forests provide valuable timber and wood for commercial use and raw materials for industries. A forest controls climate changes and purifies the atmosphere by absorbing the carbon dioxide. It is a production unit of medicines, herbs, honey and spices. It is a key source of foreign exchange. Grazing here helps the dairy farms. They are the great attraction of the cinematographers and tourists. Forests help us in controlling the soil erosion, land reclamation and flood control. Forests are the natural habitats of wide varieties of wildlife and tribe groups. Forests helps in restoration of groundwater. Forests meets country energy demand. In India, the forests and wildlife are maintained by the government. They are classified the forest into two types, reserve forest and protected forest. Reserve forests and protected forests. Reserve forests are also known as permanent forests. They are considered as the valuable forested areas of the country. It has to be preserved and conservation measures are being taken for the plants and wildlife. India has only 17% of the forest cover regions, out of which more than half of the forest has been declared as reserved forests. In the forests which are declared protected are not allowed to fell trees. 1/3 of the forests are declared as protected regions of our country. Forest conservation and management. The increase in deforestation for industrial purpose, firewood and other household uses has destroyed a lot of forest cover of India. Indian government has introduced lots of schemes to reduce the deforestation and increase afforestation. In the 1980s, space satellites were deployed for remote sensing to find the real forest cover. In 1988, national forest policy focused on environmental stability, restoring the ecological balance. The main project was to plant trees on the empty land of the villages to make the people self-sufficient of firewood. National Forest Policy. India is one among the few nations which has concerns of the forest, where policies are introduced to check the forest cover. The first policy was introduced in the year 1894, modified in 1988, 2002 and 2010. In 2002, India set up a National Forest Commission to review India's policy and law. A 2010 study by the Food and Agricultural Organization ranked India amongst the 10 countries with the largest forest cover in the world. Despite of all the illegal felling of trees and deforestation for other economic and commercial purposes, India has increased the forest cover by 7% since 1990 to 2010, says FAO. The main objectives of National Forest Policy: increase the geographical area under forest cover, maintenance of environmental stability and restoration of depleted forest resources, conserving the natural heritage by conserving the remaining flora and fauna, check the erosion, check the catchment areas of river, lake and reservoirs, afforestation programs on all unproductive lands, creating awareness among women for conserving the forest, meeting the requirements of fuel wood by minor produce and small timbers, conserve the biodiversity of the country. In this topic you have learnt, forests are considered as one of the top 5 natural resources on earth. The forests which influence the natural vegetation are temperature, rainfall, topography and soil type. The tropical evergreen forest requires 200 centimeters of rainfall. The important trees of evergreen forests are bamboo, cinchona and ebony. The trees of semi-arid regions have thick and small thorny leaves to reduce the evaporation and long roots to penetrate into the soil. Desert forest is found in regions which receive less than 25 centimeters of rainfall. Mangrove type of forest at coastal region can mitigate the effects of disasters like tsunami. Forests help us in controlling the soil erosion, land reclamation and flood control. India has only 17% of the forest cover regions, out of which more than half of the forest has been declared as reserved forests. Maintenance of environmental stability and restoration of depleted forest resources is the main objective of the National Forest Policy. At the end of the topic, you will be able to list the type of minerals, identify the ferrous and non-ferrous minerals, describe the different types of minerals. Minerals are substances which occur in nature. Minerals mixed with impurities are known as ore. The minerals are broadly divided into 2 types. They are metallic, non-metallic. Metallic minerals. The minerals which contain metals are called metallic minerals. For example, iron, copper, manganese, nickel, lead, zinc, bauxite and gold. These minerals are further divided into ferrous minerals and non-ferrous. Ferrous minerals. Minerals having more iron content and attracted by the magnet are called ferrous minerals. For example, iron, manganese, nickel, cobalt and tungsten. Non-ferrous minerals. Minerals which are not attracted by the magnet and do not have iron content are called non-ferrous minerals. For example, gold, silver, copper, bauxite. Non-metallic minerals. The minerals which do not have metal content in it are classified as non-metallic minerals. For example, coal, petroleum, cement, clay and ceramic. Some important minerals. There are numerous minerals available on the earth, but some are considered as major minerals because their requirement and usage is more compared to the others. Such minerals are iron ore, manganese, bauxite, copper, mica. Iron ore. Iron ore is the impure form of iron. Iron is the basic requirement of any developing and developed countries. Iron is often described as the backbone of industrial development. Indian history says that India knew the art of making iron in the 10th and 11th century itself. Since then, India has developed in the field of iron. The quality of iron that is available in our country is high, such as hematite ore, which has 60 to 70% of ferrous content, magnetite ore has 60% of ferrous, limonite iron ore has 35 to 50% of ferrous content, siderite iron ore 10 to 48% of ferrous content. India has 20% of the iron deposits of the world. India is the second largest next to Russia in the iron reserves. The important places in India with large deposits of iron ore are Durg in Chhattisgarh, Singhbum in Jharkhand, Kyonjar in Orissa, some parts of Karnataka, Goa and Tamil Nadu. Manganese. India is one of the chief producers of manganese ore in the world. Manganese is basically used in the manufacturing of steel and in paint and glass production. In dye batteries, manganese is used. Manganese ore is available in Bandra and Nagpur of Maharashtra, Balaghat in Madhya Pradesh, Adilabad and Vizianagaram districts of Andhra Pradesh, Bellary and Shimoga district of Karnataka. Bauxite. In terms of production of bauxite, which is the ore of aluminium, India stands in the 5th position in the world. Aluminium is a non-ferrous metal, light in weight and a good conductor of electricity. Due to the high quality available in India, bauxite has created a fast growth in the industrial development. It is used to make a wide variety of products ranging from utensils to aircraft. The chief bauxite producing states of our country are Karnataka, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Maharashtra and Orissa. Bijapur in Chhattisgarh, Ranchi in Jharkhand, Sambalpur in Orissa are major bauxite producing areas of India. Copper. Copper is also a non-ferrous metal which is a good conductor of electricity. Copper is mixed with other metals to form alloy and converted in usable products in electric industry. India has only 2% reserve of copper in the world. The graph shows the consumption of copper in different countries. We see that consumption of copper in our country is very less. Copper producing regions of India are Singhbhum of Jharkhand, Guntur and Nellore of Andhra Pradesh, parts of Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Karnataka. Mica. Mica is a mineral which can easily be converted in thin sheets and are used in electrical industries. Mica is a bad conductor of electricity, fireproof, infusible, incombustible, and non-flammable and can resist very high temperature. Major areas of mica production in our country are Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, Bihar, and Rajasthan. Conservation of mineral resources. India is a storehouse of mineral resources. The utilization of these resources is increasing as the population increases. It will create an imbalance in the nature and shortage of minerals for our future. It is an essential responsibility of every citizen of a country to use and conserve these resources. Uses of minerals can be reduced by recycling the useless and scrap metallic machineries and other materials. In the last few years, the government has taken steps to conserve resources, like the announcement of the mineral policy, the expansion of the Geological Survey of India. In this topic, you have learnt minerals and substances which occur in nature. The minerals which contain metals are metallic minerals. Minerals having more iron content are tertiary minerals. Iron is often described as the backbone of industrial development. Manganese is basically used in the manufacturing of steel and in paint and glass production. India stands in the 5th position in the world in the production of bauxite. Copper is mixed with other metals to form alloy and converted in usable products in electric industry. Mica is a bad conductor of electricity, fireproof, infusible, incombustible, and non-flammable and can resist very high temperature. It is an essential responsibility of every citizen of a country to use and conserve these resources. At the end of this topic, you will be able to identify the different types of energy resources and its uses, understand the importance of energy resource in the economic development of a country, differentiate between renewable and non-renewable energy resources. Energy has become the most important and inevitable resource of human beings' life. In today's mechanized world, energy is the basic requirement in all the fields for the economic and technological development of a country. Energy resources are classified into two types: non-renewable energy resources and renewable energy resources. Non-renewable energy resources. The energy resources that take thousands of years to form naturally and not possible to replace as fast as they are consumed are termed as non-renewable energy resources. For example, coal, petroleum, natural gas. Coal. Coal is the major energy resource utilized in India. The graph shows that India has increased its production of coal rapidly since 2000. Coal is the main requirement of iron and steel industries. Coal is usually referred as black gold. Coal is classified into different types based on the carbon content in it: anthracite, bituminous, lignite, charcoal. About 2/3 of the total production of coal is made in northeastern India. Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Orissa have the major coal producing fields in the country. 1/3 of coal comes from places like Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Petroleum. Petroleum is formed in sedimentary rocks. It is also known as liquid gold. About 33 million tons of petroleum is mined in India every year. 63% of petroleum from Mumbai High, 18% of it from Gujarat, 16% from Assam. Some less than 3% is rigged from the areas of Arunachal Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Natural gas. Natural gas is fossil fuel which is found in the Earth's crust formed when layers, plants and animals are buried under the soil over thousands of years. India uses nearly 23 billion cubic meters of natural gas. Most of the natural gas in India is found in Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Assam and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Krishna Godavari Delta also has reserves of natural gas. Electricity. Electricity is the most important requirement of any country for development. It plays a major role in the economic progress of our country. Electricity is produced in three different ways: thermal electricity, hydroelectricity, and nuclear electricity. Thermal electricity. The electricity which produced using coal, petroleum, natural gas is termed as thermal electricity. In states like Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar, Orissa and Madhya Pradesh, coal is the major source of thermal electricity. It is also produced in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Karnataka, Kerala, Orissa and Delhi. Nearly 70% of the country's demand for electricity is fulfilled by the thermal power plants. Hydroelectricity. India is the seventh largest producer of hydroelectricity in the world. The hydropower plants at Darjeeling and Shivasamudram were established in 1898 and 1902 respectively, and they are the first in Asia. The hydroelectric power plants supply 25% of India's power requirement, which is the major power supplier of our country. Hydroelectric power plants are located mainly in Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir, Meghalaya and Sikkim. In Kerala, most of the power it generates is from hydropower plants. Bakra Bees Management Board, Nation Hydroelectric Power Corporation, Northwest Electric Power Company is some power plants of our country. Nuclear electricity. A nuclear power plant is a thermal power station in which the heat is generated by nuclear reactor. It is produced from the mineral uranium and thorium. These minerals are available in the areas of Jharkhand and Rajasthan. Tarapur, Kalpakam, Ravbhavta, Narora, Kakrapara and Kaiga are important power stations in India. India has increased the contribution of nuclear power to electric generation capacity from 2.8% to 9% within 25 years. In this topic you have learnt, energy resource has become the most important and inevitable resource for everyday life. The energy resources that takes thousands of years to form naturally and that are not possible to be replaced as fast as they are consumed are termed as non-renewable energy resources. Coal is a major energy resource utilized in India. Petroleum is formed in sedimentary rocks. About 33 million tons of petroleum is mined in India every year. Most of the natural gas in India is found in Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Assam and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Electricity is the most important requirement of any country for development. The hydroelectric power plants supply 25% of India's power requirement, which is the major power supplier of our country. A nuclear power plant is a thermal power station in which the heat is generated by the nuclear reactor. At the end of this topic, you will be able to identify different types of renewable energy resources, analyze the importance of renewable energy resource, understand the need for conservation of energy resource. The renewable energy resources can be obtained again and again and can be constantly replenished. As the demand for energy increases, the importance of renewable resource is increasing. Renewable sources energy and non-renewable sources differ in many ways. Renewable sources of energy are easily available, renewable, environment-friendly, pollution-free and low production cost. The renewable energy resources are solar energy, wind energy, biogas, tidal energy, wave energy. Let us see about these energy resources in detail. Solar energy. The energy that is received from the sun is converted into electrical energy in areas where the sun's rays falls directly. India is located at the tropical zone, the area which receives immense heat and light throughout the year. The heat energy is directly converted into electrical energy through photovoltaic technology. India has planned to produce 20 gigawatts of solar power by 2020. In 2011, India's 5 megawatts of installed capacity solar power project was registered at Sivaganga district in Tamil Nadu. The largest solar power station is at Madhapur in Gujarat. This solar energy is mainly used for cooking and lighting. Wind energy. The wind power in India started in the 1990s and has shown a significant development in the last few years. India has the fifth largest installed wind power capacity in the world. India has largest growth rate in the wind power energy during the year 2009 to 2010. The wind power stations are mainly found across Maharashtra, Karnataka, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala and West Bengal. It generates 1.6% of the country's power. Biogas. Biogas is produced from the animal waste, bushes, waste from crops, and waste from human. The waste are allowed to decay to produce gas. The biogas burns more cleanly than coal and produces more energy with less emission of carbon dioxide. Biogas is used in villages for domestic purposes instead of kerosene and charcoal. Tidal energy. The power which is generated from the tidal energy is a form of hydropower that converts the tide energy into the usable one. In Indian Gulf of Kambat and Gulf of Kutch are best suited to produce 700 megawatts and 1000 megawatts respectively. Wave energy. Wave energy potential in India is estimated to be 40,000 megawatts. Villingam near Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala is the site of unique power plant of wave energy being converted into electric energy. Another power plant is coming up at Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Energy is the most important requirement for a sustainable economic development of a country. But the increase in the use of non-renewable resources can paralyze a country's growth. India is a developing country and it is developing in all sectors since independence. All the developmental activities have increased the consumption of energy. To save the non-renewable resource and to reduce the usage of such resources, India has taken immense actions. India is presently one of the least energy efficient countries of the world. We can conserve energy by using non-conventional sources of energy, using power-saving devices, using public transport system in the place of private vehicles. There is a need to conserve energy and natural resources. Energy conserve supports the eco-friendly ways of life, which not only saves money but also saves the earth. All the resources obtained from the earth are overexploited by humans. There is an urgent need to conserve the resources, to maintain the ecological balance for supporting life, to save all kinds of species in the biosphere, to have sustainable usage of resources, and to ensure the survival of the human race. In this topic you have learnt, as the demand for energy increases, the importance of renewable resources is increasing. The heat energy is directly converted into electric energy through photovoltaic technology. India has the largest growth rate in the wind power energy during the year 2009 to 2010. Biogas is produced from the animal waste, bushes, waste from crops and waste from human. In India, Gulf of Kambat and Gulf of Kutch are best suited to produce tidal energy. Wave energy potential in India is estimated to be 40,000 megawatts. Energy is the most important requirement for a sustainable economic development of a country. Energy conserved supports the eco-friendly ways of life, which not only saves money but also saves the earth.